Rohit Srivastava, who's the founder of Strike Money Analytics and India Charts. A very good afternoon to you, Rohit. And yes, I think we just tend to get happy too soon, too quick. When you look at the markets, a mild bit of rebound, and you're really pretty enthused and kicked about it, thinking that maybe things are actually turning for better. Once again, a down day now.
No, I do think things are turning for better. If you look at the last three days of price action in India and across Asia, what you'll really witness is that most of the markets are resilient in the face of US-based news flow and volatility, which is partly because a lot of the selling in India and Asia was already going on since the month of October. In some parts of the world, even since June and July. So many of the markets had already corrected. I think the US stock market is the last one to correct, whatever the reasons may be. But if we just put it in, the broader light of what has been happening, if there was a correction overdue in the world, it happened in other world markets first, and it's happening in the US last. And so that is why you're not seeing such a big impact of the US volatility now. And therefore, I think we are slowly and steadily building up now, because you still have news flow. On a day-to-day basis, yeah, you'll get down days like today. Even if I say that we've made the bottom at, say, 21,900, 800 odd, where we went to, can we really retest 22,200, 100 again? Now, those are open possibilities. So we can get a dip in the very short term. But I think we'll probably make a higher low. That is what we should be watching out for the next few days. If we do make a higher low than the low that we made last time, and then manage to, move up from there, that would be a very, very positive sign for the overall market. So I think the turn has come. The large funds, if you watch, have already started to buy, especially those which were sitting on cash or sitting on the sidelines. I think a lot of them are already back in the market. And so you'll see that constructive move slowly building up in stock prices.
All right, so let's wait and watch, and hopefully things can turn better. Hi, Rohit. Good morning. This is Shrishti also joining in. But also help us highlight which sectors do you believe can participate in the up move that is anticipated? Well, of course, the data needs and the levels need to be watched out for, but because it's a lot of sector churning that is underway. Today, the IT is taking a hit, but other than that, some of these financials are doing well. And yesterday, we know the picture. Help us understand that which sectors are you betting on?
So when we try to understand the sectoral outlook, I think what we should do is look for where the performance is actually happening, because that is where the money is going. So if we just take the last 1 month, the selling that started from the 5th of February, post the budget rally, when you started to see the market start come down from then to date, which sectors have really held out? So the top two sectors that actually show up is one, the financials, and within financials, I actually find the NBFCs doing that. And the second is the metals, which is essentially the commodity related sector. These are the ones which come out right on top. And the ones that follow that are infrastructure and public sector stocks. Now, these are all interesting areas to really be in. The financials are the only one which did not participate in a big way in the last 2 years of bull market. So, but they still had earnings growth. So in that sense, what has ended up happening is they've become an undervalued sector where a lot of the funds have been allocating their money. Wherever fresh funds have been, coming in, that money has been allocated there, and that is sort of what is happening. So the value buying started with financials, which is why you see that outperformance. And probably, like I said, it will be NBFCs more specifically within that, which are taking the attention. So there is growth and there is value. So that is the first one, which probably comes on top. The second is metals. Now, metals are cyclical. They go through cycles based on what the dollar is doing, what interest rates are doing, and sort of some of the demand and supply scenario. And we did see a good consolidation correction in, metal prices, copper prices during 2022-23. But finally, it looks like the commodity cycle is picking up. Now, except for oil prices, you can see most other commodities one by one starting to participate on the upside. Copper is already broken out. We still to see something like that in aluminium. But we are seeing in some of the agro commodities as well, so that may even ignite interest in sectors like sugar, for example, which are directly related to the commodity price. So, but metals is the easy one. So when we say metals, we are of course talking the entire basket, but the focus is specifically on aluminium, copper, which is the top 2-3 stocks out there. but eventually it swings back to steel and other companies as well. I think even though there are tariffs coming out in that area, it essentially ends up lifting the underlying price, and so in that sense, there is a positive impact in that segment. And so I think that's what you're seeing the outperformance for. Now, the next one I would actually focus on is PSUs. Now, even though there's infrastructure, a lot of the infra stocks are also PSUs. So PSUs, I think, have seen one of the biggest beat downs after the outperformance last year. From July to date, the PSU index is down a good percentage, I think almost 20% or so. And that has brought its RSI, which is a nice technical indicator to look at, from a super high of 92 on the weekly charts to a low of around close to 30. So that's almost oversold. So from extremely overbought to oversold is what you've seen the PSE index do, and I think that brings it back into the value zone. So the next place of value where money may go is PSU stocks. Now, you may not be seeing them outperform in terms of percentage gains, but they've actually fallen far less in the last 1 month. So in that sense, they show up in the top 4 sectors for the month.
All right, so those are the top 4 sectors that actually Rohit is watching out for in PSU, given the fact that they have now gone from overbought to oversold territory. So there is scope for this one to see a good bounce. Thank you so much, Rohit, for actually putting all of that into perspective for our viewers, which are the sectors that are looking good at this point in time. But if you look at